In the quiet of the night, I hear a whisper.
Ladies,
in the white,
I hear a whisper.
a fragile tone that pulls me gently through the fire.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Every chord remembers you.
welcome
Every note becomes a name.
to the most athletic,
I'm reaching through the frequencies, but nothing sounds the
guitar
same.
stream ever.
I feel the air around me
I feel
like a truth I can't let
like a truth I can't let go.
inside the silence, calling me back home.
Oh, baby, baby.
Through the echoes, where the shadows start to glow,
Are you ready
and every sound you leave
to get started?
is the one I can't outgrow. Oh, Mr. Sorenzo,
With guitar athleticism,
your voice is in the undertow.
guitar talks, passion, energy, love. Start the clock.
Echoes of Sorenzo. Sorenzo. The world is made of silver strings and unresolved desires. I chase the tone that once was yours through broken amplifiers. You fade into the reverb, but I still can't let it win. I hear you in the distance, pulling me again. I feel the air around me tremble like a truth I can't let go. A spark inside the silence, calling me back home. I'm falling through the echoes, where the shadows start to glow, and every sound you leave behind is the one I can't outgrow. Oh, Mr. Sorenzo, your voice is in the undertow. I'm rising, but I'm sinking in the echoes. Echoes of Sorenzo. Hold me in the static, guide me through the dark. Every fading memory still reaches for my heart. I'm falling through the echoes, still searching for your glow. And every wave that crashes in reminds me where to go. Oh, Mr. Sorenzo, I'm lost inside your overflow. I'm standing, but I'm drifting in the echoes. Echoes of Sorenzo.
Baby, baby. Oh my god, the music stopped again! Antoinette! That's not the time to change the song! I tell you every time! Ladies and gentlemen,
Plug in the power
Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the most athletic guitar stream ever! How you doing? Happy Thursday. And boy, I gotta tell you, I am in the mood today. So much that I even flipped my own cameras. On stream.
Crowds buzzing like a circuit overload. One strum and the whole damn room explodes. Heads are buzzing from the head banging, mosh pit flows. But I'm just getting started.
I am in the mood today. I gotta tell you why. I'm in the mood. Because, boy, oh boy. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Because our items on the docket on the stream topic today is insane. It's really, really good. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today. First, we are going to talk about Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia Rodrigo's new Ernie ball guitar, which is like crazy. We're going to talk about that. Then we are going to talk about John Mayer's new Neural DSP, which is insane. It's about time, I guess, right? Then we're going to talk about Gibson Les Paul Greeny and compare that with a studio. Does Greeny worth the money? It's hefty price tag. We're going to talk about that. And then there was an... Sorry, I just lost my head. So, then we're going to talk about Nuno Betancourt. Did he screw Washburn over? There was a new interview out. And there was some interesting revelations. I was so happy when I read that article. We'll get to it. I'll tell you guys what. When we get to it, we'll talk about it. And we are going to also review his signature guitar specs today. And who better to do it than Mr. Sorenzo? Because I have two of them at home, and we're ready to go. We are ready to go!
Watch me break the meter. Take it deeper.
Are you guys ready? Turn it up! Turn it up! Woo! Ooh, baby, baby! Oh, baby, 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 baby. We are ready to go. Let's get the party started. All right. Turn it down. That's enough. Turn it down. Ooh, baby, baby. All right, turn it down. That's it. That's the no. All right, turn it down. Let us get to the item on the stream. Okay, let's get to that. I think we really took it out of proportion, like disproportional, a little disproportional. So let me play something a little bit more mellow, and then we are going to have a chat about everything that we want to have a chat about. Now, you guys tell me, is the backing track too distracting, or are we good? Can I get some sound check from YouTube and from Twitch, please? If someone can comment if the backing track is too loud, if the microphone is good. A confirmation would be greatly appreciated. So, no one's saying anything, so I'll take it as a yes. With that said, let us talk about our first item on the docket. So, this was interesting. When I read it, I was like, oh, this is a very interesting article. So Olivia Rodrigo, for those guys who don't know her, Olivia Rodrigo is a very, very famous pop star. She is a very talented artist. She has 15 million subscribers on her YouTube channel, millions of views on her videos. She's pretty big. You guys probably know her. Nevertheless, she got a new Ernie Ball St. Vincent's guitar, which we're going to also talk about in a second. But this article was really, it was interesting, but it was a little weird to me at the same time too. So let's see what she said. Olivia said she, that being Annie Clark, or aka St. Vincent, another famous artist that this guitar is the signature of, she made the guitar specifically designed for women. And I read that and I'm like, well, hold on, how do you specifically design a guitar for women? I mean, we've had guitars for all of us, right? And women's, been playing electric guitars since the dawn of time, since us guys did it. So I was like, all right, this got my attention. Let's read it and see what she meant when she said, look, the guitar was specifically designed for women. Rodrigo wielded a St. Vincent's Ernie Ball Music Man Goldie throughout her recent Guts tour, and she is a die-hard fan. Okay. If you've ever laid eyes on a St. Vincent's signature axe, that's this one, this pointy guitar, you are sure to have clocked its distinctive angular design. While it's certainly reflective of Annie Clark's experimental and bold musical identity, her guitars are designed with something else in mind. Bubes. So that guitar is a bube, and I'm pronouncing it this way because I don't want YouTube to just crash my channel down, like just ban me and everything else. So we're gonna pronounce it as bubes, but you guys know what we're talking about here. So is that why this guitar is a woman-specific guitar? The angles? And as soon as I read this, I'm like, all right, this statement is a little suspicious because Olivia, even in this photo you can see, she strapped the guitar somewhere in the mid. It's not low, but it's not high near the bube territory either. So I'm like, what are you talking about? What is this article saying? In a since-deleted Instagram post, Clark wrote that her initial 2016 Ernie Ball Music Man signature was made to be ergonomic, lightweight, and sleek. Cool, that's fine, legit, we like that. While also allowing room for a breast or two. Ever since, Clark has continued to release guitars designed with a feminine edge, and Olivia Rodrigo loves them. Isn't that a little weird? I don't know. I found it a little weird. So nevertheless, she's, having a Goldie St. Vincent's, that's a purple colored guitar, and she's great with it, and that's fantastic. But then the reason that, Olivia Rodrigo was so excited is because it's specifically designed for women. Because she plays her guitar really high up. It's cut so that you can have bubes and play guitar, which is so awesome. And I'm like, really? I don't know. That doesn't sound like an accurate statement to me. For me, a guitar that is not too heavy is really important because I'm not a very big person. Listen, I'm a bigger person than Olivia Rodrigo. Having a light guitar is also important for me, right? Anyone, ergonomics, lightweightness is fantastic. I can't even play a 60s Strat or a 70s Les Paul. I would need to travel with a chiropractor on tour in order to play those guitars. While she would love to be capable of using a 60s Strat or a 70s Les Paul, noting that they're great guitars, so they render themselves impractical and unfunctional for a person like me because of their weight. So basically, it seems to me from this article that the main point of contention with other guitars is their weight. And by the way, Ernie Ball Music Mans are great. Their thin guitar designs are fantastic. So for those who don't know, I have a Music Man Ernie Ball Kaizen, a US made one, at home. It's the thinnest guitar I have. It's the thinnest neck I have on a guitar, and it's fantastic. So extremely ergonomic, extremely sleek. So it makes perfect sense when she says that. But when you're talking about it giving you room for your bubes, I thought, you know what? No. You know what I mean? So I went on and looked online. And I'm like, all right, so who are the examples that I can find, that they have, that they are blessed okay, for lack of a better word. And they use traditional shaped guitars. And out of all, Mimi Sounds came to my mind. After all, I have made a couple of shorts and reels about her. So if you guys look at this one up here, does this guitar look like it's not accommodating for the blessings? This is a traditional Strat shape, right? I mean, it looks like it's doing okay. I mean, you know, maybe not this one, not so much, but that's a telly. But again, the curve is there if she put it on the other leg, probably. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to me that it's that obstructive. And again, I'm not a woman. It might be a struggle. I don't know. It's just looking at it, it looks like it perfectly fits the shape. Here she is with a PRS single cut. That's another telly. Anyways, long story short, it just seems like those shapes are doing fine. If you're seated. So this is like when she's seated. But like, she's not strapping the guitar high, is she? So yeah, and look, I don't have anything against it. Before we go on talk about the specs on this guitar, I don't have anything against girls having a guitar of their own, like their own secret handshake. Do you know what I mean? Their own little things. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I love that, right? You know, fine. Like, I'm not against it. It doesn't mean that anyone can't go on the Ernie Ball website or Sweetwater or wherever and they can't buy this guitar for themselves, right? So, you know, let the girls have it. Like, who cares? But it's just like, I was like, this article doesn't make sense in that sense. So, if you have a look here, this is Annie Clark, St. Vincent. And again, even for somebody that straps things really high, if you had a Strat here, you'd be okay. To me. And again, unless you're like really blessed, you know what I mean? Then I'm like, all right, fine. The extra cut helps. But the weight thing is really important, by the way. The weight thing is extremely important, especially for women with like smaller bodies. Being ergonomic and light is superb and important, so I completely understand that. Anyways, so this is the guitar in question. Let us have a chat about the specs of this guitar and see what this guitar is about. Okay, so this guitar, introducing Goldie, the brand new, reimagined St. Vincent signature guitar. By the way, guys, for those who don't know, Saint Vincent is the artist's name for Annie Clark. That's what she's known with. That's her nickname. Reimagined St. Vincent's signature guitar from Ernie Ball Music Man, Goldie, features a lightweight Akume body. Love that. Roasted figured maple neck. Love that. Roasted maple necks. We love those. With reversed headstock and rosewood or ebony fingerboard, depending on your color option here. We'll get to that. A trio of newly designed Ernie Ball Music Man gold foil mini humbucking pickups and an intuitive 5-way switching arrangement combined to provide a bright and bold clarity with moderate output. Moderate output. That's also key, by the way. And it makes perfect sense, right? If you are a person that plays pop music, doesn't make sense for you to have a high output pickup, right? She's not playing blues. She doesn't need the roundness and the mushiness because there's so many instruments there. Mixing that live performance is going to be a hassle, right? Because it's important for you to set the frequency of the guitar where it can be heard without it being too loud, louder than everything else, because it's a band after all, you know, it's a live performance. So you want to have an orchestral approach to, you know, mixing and mastering, mastering the final sound that you get in the live performance. Like the sound engineers got to do that, right? So moderate output in this sense makes perfect sense. Now, the thing that I don't know, like it's an interesting guitar. So it comes at $3,200, $3,250 which is very hefty, but it's a US made Music Man. 3 colors. So that's the cashmere, That's the Velveteen. This is Silk Charmeuse, however you pronounce this word. Which out of us, to be honest with you, the cashmere was like my favorite. I like it more than any other color there. And the design is interesting. So first thing I noticed when I looked at this photo earlier on was how these knobs were triangular at the base. See that? I was like, this is interesting. Check this out. It has the same sort of like the V tapering, the V beveling on the body, which a lot of Ernie balls have. My Ernie ball has. I know Majesty, which is John Petrucci's one, also has it. So that's pretty. That's an Ernie ball design. See how nice and thin it gets up there. So very ergonomic. Mini humbuckers. You can see that. And here's the thing with these mini humbuckers, by the way, right? So Music Man's mini humbuckers, the only objection I have to them, the only critique I have to them, is that they make it really hard for you to customize your guitar. So if somebody wants to go in and put a new set of pickups in there, like Seymour Duncan's or Burstbucker even, I don't even know, whatever, like EMG, Seymour Duncan's, Fishman, you name it, you can't without drilling extra and rerouting this extra, like opening these holes extra with drilling, right? Because of their size, these mini humbuckers are very unique in their size and dimension. So that's my only issue with them. So even my Ernie ball at home, even that one has mini humbuckers in it. So that's the challenge for people who like to mod their guitars. You can't do much with the pickups there. So there we go. That's the headstock, reverse headstock. Love that. Ernie ball bridge. Got a similar one. And you can see that it's a 5-bolt on neck. So the neck is bolted to the body with 5 screws. Here's the thing I never understood, and I don't think it has an impact on the guitar at all, but the fact that they went with 5 screws and there are 5 small screws, I don't understand the logic behind it. Could be the case, if someone can educate me here, could be the case that like the smaller the screws, the less non-wood material you have in there, and that might impact the resonance. I don't know what the logic with that is. Because Fenders just use, like, say 4 in the Telecasters or Strats, right? To get, like, on 4 corners of a you know, rectangular, you know, joint. So, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. And that roasted maple neck is awesome, by the way. Just the pattern on this is beautiful. Can you see that? I adore the neck. Roasted maple neck's my favorite by far. So, yeah. What a beautiful guitar. It's a beautiful guitar. That neck is just the winner, honestly. So here we go. You see another one here. Look at that. Look at that pattern. My goodness. So, all gold foils, the pickups, have Alnico 5 magnets. So bright, really bright, with a unique construction that is inspired by early Firebird mini humbucking pickups and vintage gold foil single coil pickups. So that is the Gibson mini humbuckers that they're talking about, that were in Firebirds from the beginning. So 1963 Firebird 1 had those mini humbuckers in the bridge position only. So yeah, the result is a vintage sounding set of pickups with plenty of chime without being harsh. The bridge pickup has a little more output and a rounded top end for a nice bite with extra push. That isn't too bright. Okay, so here we go. Now, what do we have here? Okume body, high gloss polyester body, and it makes sense. It's for pop stars. You know what I mean? Like gloss, fine. Scale length is 25.5 inch. Neck radius is 10 inches. Absolutely not surprised, because pop players play mostly chords and they mostly stay at the low end of the neck. They don't go like close to the neck body joint. They don't go all the way up. So it makes perfect sense to have it round, because the more circular the fretboard is, because your fingers are naturally curved, right? If you hold it, it's naturally curved. It makes sense to have a curved fingerboard as opposed to, say, a 16-inch or 20-inch fretboard, which is like really flat. So 10 inches is not a surprise whatsoever to me at all. And it's a 10 inches is like a tried, tested, and true dimension, like neck radius, right? So 22 frets with stainless steel medium width high profile frets. So kind of like, I don't know, jumbo. Roasted maple neck, we talked about that. Ebony or rosewood fingerboards. Now, you got the custom St. Vincent's inlay. I didn't notice the inlays, actually. Oh, right. I did, actually. I did. Those ones. And you have Schullers M6 locking with pearl buttons in their tuning machines. I like Schullers. And you have the 5 bolts, like I told you guys. Perfect alignment with no shifting. Sculpted joint neck. Allows for smooth access to higher frets. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the logic with the 5 bolts, but overall, if you have a look here, the neck hug is not that bad. It's not the best neck hug. You still get a lot of thickness there. So if you compare this guitar, for example, with the Kaizen or with an N6 that doesn't even have a heel, it's not as accessible, but I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue because you got that lower horn a little lower, so you should be okay. Like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 frets? Like, that neck hug can cover 4 frets, if you know what I mean. So it's not the biggest issue of all times at all. 250K in volume and tone pots, so we got that. And you have a 5-way pickup selector. The strings come out of factory at 1046 slinkies. So there we go. Ah, look at that. There's another one here. So there we go, man. I thought that was a really interesting kind of a guitar. It's really, look, the thing I like about these guitars is the fact that they're not Gibson and Fender rinse and repeats, right? So Gibson and Fender, Tele, Strat, and Les Paul obviously are masterpieces. Firebird, masterpiece, right? These shapes are amazing, and the two giants, Fender and Gibson, killed it. Granted, the 50s, amazing. But then, like, you know what I mean? There is like a few companies like PRS and Ernie Ball Music Man that they got their own shape, right? They got their own shapes of guitars. And I respect them a lot because these are the people that actually provide you with real options as opposed to just, you know what? Let's just make like Tele like everybody else. Let's just make a Strat like everybody else. And do that too. I'm not saying don't do it. Do that to improve upon that design. That's, the reason that Strats and Teles and Les Pauls are so popular is because they're so damn good, right? Love it. Don't get rid of them. Improve upon those. Do that, but then come up with new stuff too. And I think because guitar buyers are so conservative, all of us, the guitar market is a conservative guitar market. I kind of understand why luthiers don't want to take that risk. Guitar builders don't want to take that risk to come up with something crazy new because now, you gotta have to support it. And what if the market doesn't like it as opposed to a try, test, and true formula? So I understand is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that was the first item on the docket. Just to put it all together, amazing guitar. Amazing design, ergonomic, we love that. Lightweight guitars, we love that. Sleek, we love that. I don't know about the Bupe part. I don't know about the extra space for the blessings to come over part because every guitar has that curve too. So I don't know. I do not know, man. I don't know what they were talking about. So, and again, like I said earlier, man, I'm not against girls having their own guitars. Let them have their secret handshakes, and let them be proud of it, and let them have that going on. But just don't understand the concept of All right, let us jump to the next item on the docket, shall we? It was a matter of time, I think. I really think that. Like, I'm surprised that this didn't happen earlier on. And the title is, he sent me a video of himself playing the slow dancing solo through the plugin. That's when I knew we had it. New World DSP unveils Archetype John Mayer X, a landmark signature plugin that brings the guitar greats sought-after tones to the masses. Okay. A couple of points here before we start. I just want to start with these caveats. Other than New World DSP, that, you know, obviously they're the giant, they're the big boys. Another big boy called Line 6 also has had similar modelers of John Mayer's tone in their products. So Line 6 Helix also, you know, came out with this new Helix Stadium with a completely new, you know, technology in it with, you know, sound design and everything else. But even as a person that has a older model of Line 6, the Line 6 Helix LT, so I got that unit at home. That's my main unit. I play through that. The Mayer presets, the John Mayer presets that are in the LT are superb, and they sound so good. So, this is big. The fact that he had his own Neural DSP plugin is huge. You know, so that makes his tone available for a lot cheaper to a lot more people. You know, because this is just a plugin. You buy it for $100-something bucks, whatever, and you just download it and you're good, as opposed to you having to buy a whole unit for $500-600, right? So that's a great thing, but just know that this is like, it is big that they're doing it. It's a matter of time that they did it. I'm surprised this didn't happen earlier, but it's like it's done like before, kind of a deal, right? So, in a milestone moment for modeling, the new plugin offers models of Mayer's go-to amps, pedals, and effects, dumbbells, 2 rocks, and clones included. So Klon, guys, for those who don't know, Klon is this legendary distortion pedal that is like $20,000 each right now. Literally $20,000 each, like secondhand, $15,000, $20,000. And John has, I think, a couple of them, at least. So their tones are very sought after. Alrighty, so Neural DSP and John Mayer have formed a landmark partnership to release Archetype John Mayer X, a new plugin that makes some of Mayer's most iconic guitar tones available to the masses in digital form. It is, quite simply, one of the most significant gear launches of the modern era. On one side of the partnership is John Mayer, you know, and then on the other side is Neural DSP. These guys are killing it, by the way. Now, what do we have here? We got a bunch of tube amps, dumbbells, 2 rocks, vintage fenders, flute pedal boards, and it has a Klon Centaur at its heart. So that's, I wonder whether they were allowed to call it Klon Centaur. I don't think they can, because Mr. Klon himself owns that copyright. In fact, he sued Behringer for using a likeness of that name and design. Nevertheless. So that design came out, and I thought maybe we can have a listen to it. So let me pause the music. Oops. Let me pause the music, and let's have a listen to this. Oh. Bring the music back on. I apologize. I thought that was the video. I got excited. Never mind. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. This is pretty big. I mean, Neural DSP is not alien to bringing crazy talent there. They had Tim Henson in there. They had Tosin Abasi in there. They had Nolly in there. They had John Petrucci in there. So Polini in there. They have so many artists there in their Archetype plugins. So, you know, it's not crazy surprising. I think the thing that got me a little bit more surprised was the fact that New World DSP got this happening with John Mayer, but for some reason, PRS guitars that they produce, you know, John's signature guitar, how come they didn't do an amp with John is what I'm wondering. Because what John Mayer does is like a really good match for some of like PRS, like old sounding amplifiers. And I'm surprised that they didn't do that. Because PRS is not in the business of plugins or digital or anything of that nature, but they've done amps, Archetype. They've done amps for Mark Tremonti. You know what I mean? So they've been doing amps, and their amps are pretty good. Archetypes, I love PRS Archetypes amp. I played with it. So I'm surprised PRS didn't do it. When I read this, I'm like, man, maybe PRS should have done a signature amp for John, because the guitar has been killing it. Like, John Mayer's Silver Sky guitar was the second best in its performance in 2025, according to Reverb data, in terms of most sold guitar. So it only makes sense for you to put that amp out there, make him a package. You know what I mean? Like, it just is there. So I thought maybe PRS dropped a ball on that one. Nevertheless, if anyone's interested in having a sort of like a digital version of John Mayer's sound, and you're into plugins, New World DSP just delivered for you guys. And I have Nolly's New World DSP, the Archetype, and it's great. I love it. It's really, really nice and versatile. So here you go. Yeah, I wonder, man, because how many of you guys watching this are like into plugins? Because I like my Line 6 modulars, you know what I mean? But, like, unless I'm actually recording, I don't use plugins. Like, actual recording of a song, then I put my raw signal, you know, to my computer, and then I change everything with the plugins, fine. That just keeps things neat and simple for me. But for playing, I don't know. Yeah. So there we go. Wonder, what do you guys think? Like, would you buy that plugin? I wonder how much it is. Like, how much is John Mayer's plugin? Let me have a look. John Mayer, New Raw DSP, Archetype. It's 170 euros. Okay, that's interesting. So, euro to USD. So 170 euros is 200 United States dollar. $200. That's what this New World DSP is selling for. The Archetype. That's insane, man. That's expensive for a plugin. Yeah. That's the Fender Tweed. Signature 80. Where's the Klon? I want to see the Klon. Just a Boost. Antilla Filter. Halfman OD. Teal Breaker. Gravity Tank. Where is the Klon? That's the cabs. Delay, reverb, EQs. Really? No Klon? I want the Klon. Where is it? Doesn't say. All right. Okay. I think we can now have a listen to the... we can now have a listen to this song. So, hold on. Let me go back. Let's have a listen to this. See what this is about. And I swear to God, I saw a video there. Where is it? God damn it. Come on. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, let me make myself smaller. What a player. My God. Here's the thing. Like, here's the thing with John Mayer, man. Anything this man plays is gonna sound good. Like, no matter what gear you put in John Mayer's hand, it's gonna sound good. But boy, that tone was sweet. We liked that. That was a really sweet tone. I really like what I heard. I don't know about you guys. That was good. Man. But again, and this is such a big win for Neural DSP, but John Mayer is huge. John Mayer is one of those few people that has bridged between being a guitarist and a pop star. Like guitarist, not, strums on a guitar. Guitarist, solo playing guitarist. Not just chord playing. And he's one of the very few who's done it successfully. Because these two words are really different from each other. More often than not, like a guitar solo player is in the service of the singer, in the service of the band. John is just like throwing it out of thing. So it's a huge thing for Neural DSP. That sounded great. Obviously, it's a different experience that, when you get it and play it yourself, it's a different experience. And to be fully fair, you put anything in John Mayer's hand, that man will make it sound good. So there we go. All right, shall we go to the next item on the docket? Shall we do that? Let's do this. So let's go to the next item on the docket. Now, and this one, guys, this was a discussion I had with a good friend of mine this week, actually, who is a big nerd on traditional guitars, Gibsons especially. And we had a really nice discussion very, very recently. And we were talking about, Les Pauls and SGs and all that. And one of the things I told him, so for those who don't know, in a couple of weeks' time or so, 2-3 weeks' time is going to be my birthday, and I wanted to buy myself a Les Paul, right? And I was trying to figure out, all right, well, what is it that I want to buy for myself? And right now, the hottest Les Paul in the market is the Greeny. Let's be honest. Like right now, Greeny is by far the hottest Les Paul in the market. I don't care who says what. Right now, this is it, right? And so I was like, but the thing with Greeny, the only problem with Greeny is this damn price tag, right? It's $3,000 US. That's expensive. That's like 7,000 Australian dollars. That's like, what? 1,700 euros? 1,700 euros? It's expensive, right? This is like an expensive guitar. Now, I was looking at this, and my friend and I were talking about what are other options out there that actually give you the same spec, but because they don't have the Greeny name against it or the Kirk Hammett name against it, they're much more affordable. And here's the thing, right? Because the thing that makes Greeny right now so expensive is the story behind it. Kirk Hammett bought this guitar that was for David Green, then Gary Moore played with it, and then he sold it to somebody else, and now Kirk Hammett is playing with it, and all three of these guys are legends, right? And so that guitar, and actually I might as well just show you guys a photo of it. So Kirk Hammett, there we go, Peter Greeny. See that? So this is Peter Greeny's guitar that Kirk Hammett is holding, right? That's the guitar. And so, you know what I mean? It's Peter Greeny, and then Gary Moore played with it, and now Kirk Hammett is playing it with it on literally every tour. So this guitar is probably the most famous guitar in the world right now, the most like insane guitar in the world right now. So because there's 3 artist names against this guitar, and it's such a legendary guitar, it has a story about how the neck pickup was fixed incorrectly, inserted incorrectly, the magnet of it, and therefore the middle position of this guitar sounds out of phase because the 2 pickups are out of phase. All of that has obviously contributed to the high price tag of the guitar, and then obviously this is a US made Les Paul with quality material and quality craftsmanship, so $3,000. Okay? Now, what I wanted to do was to compare and contrast this guitar with another guitar that is almost, what the heck just happened to these images? That is almost half as, the price tag of it is half of Greeny's price tag. So let me refresh this page, maybe this will, Gibson's website is killing it, man. Oh, there we go, that's better, right? So this is the Gibson Les Paul Studio Figure Top Ice-T exclusive. So again, this is a high-end studio Les Paul. So let us have a look at the differences between these 2 guitars and then draw our own conclusion out of it. How does that sound? Let's do that. So Greeny, obviously you have this AAA maple top, you know, which is looks insane. You know, the body, single ply cream top and fretboard binding, nitrocellulose lacquer, mahogany body, AAA figured maple top, a mahogany neck, right? And then Indian rosewood. So wood-wise, these 2 guitars are identical, except that the maple top here is not a AAA maple top, is a 2A maple top. And guys, for those who don't know, it refers to the patterns of the wood, how good the wood looks at the top, how patterned it is. So if you have a look at Greeny right now, see all these lines, see all these patterned flame maple, right? This is great. Compared with that, there's not much going on, so that's that. But in terms of material, they're both maple, right? Maple top. Okay. And you have a mahogany body, right? Again, same nitrocellulose lacquer. Same fretboard. Same neck. So wood-wise and finish-wise, these 2 guitars are identical. They're identical also in their scale length. They're identical in the nut. Both of them are Graphtec. They're identical in the number of frets. So very, very similar designs. Like identical, okay? The difference is, the one difference in the neck is that this guitar has a thicker 50s feeling kind of neck. So the neck is nice and chunky. Whereas this guitar has a tapered neck, so the neck is actually thinner. Right? So for more modern players. And for somebody like me, I mean, like, I don't mind playing with chunky necks once in a while. A couple of my guitars at home got really chunky necks. I don't mind them. But if you play with them too much, like the ones that are like really, really big, it makes your hand tired, especially if you want to play fast, right? Obviously, there's a point of the neck being too thin, so everyone got their own preferences, but you guys get the point I'm trying to make here. I probably prefer the neck on this guitar, personally, as opposed to this. Just the shape, the feel of the neck. Fine. Now, the electronic specs this is where like the real difference begins, right? So the pickups here are the Greeny Bucker pickups on the neck and the bridge. The neck and the bridge are out of phase, so when you put the guitar in the middle position, it has this nasal tone. Fine, that's what makes Greeny really special. And if I look here, it's in this guitar, it's the Burst Bucker Pros, which are like cream of the crop pickups with 2 push and pull coil tap, you know, 2 tones. So with this one, you also get like single coil sounds from each of the pickups that you don't get with the Greeny, right? So That's another interesting thing. So I don't know, like, unless you specifically like the Greeny sound and you want to have that story in your guitar, I guess that's a selling point. Otherwise, if you like to get, like, you know, your coils separated for, you know, coil tapping, if you want to play like with a single coil sounding guitar, well, this guitar is clearly the winner. Needless to say, by the way, that there are 60s Gibson Les Pauls that are still cheaper than Greeny, that they actually got push and pulls on the tone and volume, and that allows you to actually put your pickups out of phase. So they actually achieved that with a push and pull, which is even better, and they're cheaper than this guitar. I'll show it to you guys in a second, right? And that's really it. Like, everything else in these guitars is almost identical to an Nomadic bridge. You know, you got a pick guard there. This one doesn't have a pick guard, I guess. So, again, who cares? Pick guard, whatever. You can just unscrew the pick guard. But the wood and the electronics are the main thing, and the craftsmanship, obviously, is coming from the same, you know, same standard factory, right? So I don't know what to tell you guys, to be fully honest with you. Like, unless you like this story and those specific pickup sounds, and you can't get away with anything close to it or similar to it, you know what I mean? Because like Burstbucker Pros are also based on 50s PAF pickups, similar to this pickup. Like, these two pickups are not that crazily different from each other, guys, right? And so I don't understand why this guitar is $3,000. I guess I understand it because of the story behind it. But this guitar is $1,800, so just a little more than half. And $1,800 is already a lot of dough. So I don't know what to tell you. Another advantage this guitar has, by the way, is that it's weight relieved. So there are some holes in there to make the guitar light, as opposed to this guitar that can go easily to 9 to 10 pounds sometimes, like 5 kilos. Up to 5 kilos. It's heavy, right? You know what I mean? Whereas this one is weight relieved. So I thought, this is insane. And it comes with different colors. You know, select your whatever colors you like and you're good to go. I really dig this color, by the way. You know what I'm coming from here? And then, I'll put you guys this way. So, hold on. I'm going to go to Gibson 60s Standard, right? Check this out. So I'm going to go to all. Where's my Gibson's website? Actually, go to Gibson.com. Hold on. Okay. Check this out. I'm going to go to Gibson. Guitars. Les Paul. See what I'm going to do. What a beautiful wood, by the way. Good Lord. Oh, this looks beautiful. Anyways, so let me not go crazy. So I'm going to go filters. And I'm going to go Gibson, not even custom. So the 60s Standard, guys, so this is the exclusive one, whatever, that is still $300, no, $400. Sorry, guys, my math is out of whack. The exclusive 60s, you know, the high-end 60 exclusive stuff with British Racing Green color on it, staining on it or whatever, right? And there are other ones that are actually cheaper than this, right? This guitar is $2,600. It's $400 cheaper, and it does a lot more than what the Greeny can do. I don't know what's going on with Gibson's website, because my internet speed is good. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to stream, right? But if I go to this guitar right now, if it opens, you know what? Maybe I should. Okay, opened it. I was about to go to Sweetwater's website. It's like, come on, Gibson, you can do better with your website. Come on. So have a look at this guitar. This guitar is the 60s Standard, not custom shop, right? Looks awesome. Exactly the same feature. Like, the woods are exactly identical. The hardware, electronics is the 60s Burstbucker, superb good humbuckers. And check this out. When you go to this guitar, not this particular one maybe, but there is another 60s. There's a 60s guitars. There's more modern ones out there. Maybe it's called the Modern. That you got the push and pull at the tone and volume knob, and that it puts your pickups out of phase. So you get the coil tap and you get the out of phase tap. So that is two things that the Greeny just can't do, right? So the fact that this guitar is just this expensive only has to do with the story and not its features. And I thought I really wanted to bring this up to you guys. I really want to discuss with you guys, because with guitars, more money doesn't mean better. Not always. Sometimes it is. But a lot of times it just does not. First-hand and second-hand market. Right? When we get to the next couple of items on the docket, and I talked to you guys about the Nuno Washburn guitar, I saw this, might as well just show it to you guys. This guitar with a crappy photo, right? That is being sold for 4,000 Australian dollars. I bought exactly the same one for half that price in mint condition. Just to tell you how meaningless these prices are. And Nuno has moved to another, like Nuno is doing his own guitars now. Like there's not that much value using the, I don't know how many people would actually want the N4. We'll talk about it when we get to it. But like, it's so important to recognize that more money doesn't mean better guitar for you. So if you're going around, because I'm shopping for my birthday, it's my birthday gift to myself, I guess, right? But because I buy and sell a lot of guitars, like I'm aware of these things. But a lot of times, if you guys like, I've only bought like 2-3 guitars for yourself, not more. Like I've done dozens. You don't know these little things. Like you don't internalize it. You know it, but still, when something new comes out, like everyone loses their minds. But when you internalize it, you realize that, man, more money does not mean better guitar. So yeah, that's just interesting. Now, is this a beautiful guitar? Is this maple top amazing? You bet. Is this a good sounding guitar? You bet. But yeah. And then the next question is, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts on this, guys. How much does the story actually worth if that guitar is not Peter Greeny's guitar, not Kirk Hammett's guitar, or Gary Moore's? It's a copy of it. So how valuable is that story for a production model? Because it's not that guitar itself, because that guitar goes for a few $1 million now. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So there you have it. This is like, yeah. That just blows my mind, man. Well, when I saw the price tag on this guitar, I was like, blew my. And then, you guys, I'm not sure if you're not a regular, you don't know, but a good friend of our stream, a really good friend of mine, Doroteo, who's a regular on our streams. He said to me in a couple of streams ago that the Epiphone Greeny was like $1,500, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, really? And then I went, and I'm bringing it up to you guys for you to see. Literally, that Greeny, here you go, is $1,500. It's like, for an Epiphone. You know what I mean? So, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Right? And then it is like, you compare this, so you compare this Epiphone, right, with what we just saw, right? Where's my specs? The pickups are identical. It's identical pickups. Everything is the same. Like, it's just made in China. So the craftsmanship quality is the main thing you can question, with like some hardware differences, like some stuff they did so to, to save some money on it. But mahogany body, maple top. They call this one a AAA maple top veneer. So it's a triple H. It's a veneer that they've got, despite the fact that it's still maple top. But this doesn't look like AAA to me, so it doesn't look as good. Grover Rotomatic tuners, Epiphone ABR bridge, so that's the thing that is Chinese. But other than that, it's going to sound extremely similar to the Greeny. And it's freaking expensive. I'm not going to pay $1,500 for an Epiphone. And it's heavy too, 9 pounds. Yeah. So our good old friend Dorotio brought it up, and I was like, this is like insane, man. I can't believe it. Just like, what? All right, let us jump to the next item on the docket, shall we? Let us go to the next item on the docket. And now, for those who don't know, I'm a ginormous fan of Nuno Betancourt's. Huge fan of it. I have 2 guitars, 2 Washburn and 4s at home. One of them I already showed you a photo of. The other one, you probably have seen me playing it. And I love those guitars. So one of those Washburn is my main guitar, and it has been since I bought it. It's just an insane guitar. It really works for me. So like that guitar, and maybe I can open it for you guys here. Hold on. But that guitar is just perfect because, you know, 14-inch radius. The one that I have has an exotic wood in it. Ebony fretboard. And obviously you have the Stevens extended cutaway, which gives you like superb access to everything, you know, on the higher end of the frets. So check this out. So this was the Nuno USA, basically, and this is the Nuno Authentic, which is like the relic version of that guitar. Right? And you guys can see it. It's a great guitar. Again, I got 2 of them at home, and I can't say enough good things about them. And this is Stevens extended cutaway. Basically, it's a design that removes the guitar heel completely, so there's no heel in there, as you can see. So then your thumb can literally go in that. I'll show it to you guys on my guitar in a second. I'll bring one of the guitars out to show it to you. Right? So I read this article, and I was like, oh boy, that is insane. So Nuno, you know, talked about, you know, why he built his whole guitar company. And for those who don't know, basically what happened was that he's been with Washburn for over 30 years. And then he played on the main stage at Ozzy Osbourne's farewell show, you know, back to the beginning in Buckingham, England. And he brought this new guitar out that everybody was like, what the heck is that? And what people noticed was that on the headstock, despite the fact that it was identical to Washburn's headstock, this headstock, which is inspired by a reversed Fender, like a reverse 70s Fender, they were like, on the headstock, it says Nuno. And they were like, oh God, is he leaving Washburn? So he talked about it. It's a long article. I'm not going to go through every single line there for you guys. But there was a few important highlights that he brought up. Number one was that when he brought this new guitar up, where is this? This one. I'll show you a better photo in a second. But when he played that on the main stage in Buckingham, right, Washburn didn't know about it. Nuno Betancourt, back to the beginning guitar, right? He first posted a video of him practicing in the car on the way to the stage. And then obviously he went on the stage and just killed it with this guitar. There he is. That's another photo of him. What a good photo. Yeah, this is him, right? That's the guitar. So the first interesting point that was brought up was that Nuno said, look, Washburn didn't know that I was about to do this. And I didn't do this to tease or like advertise my guitars, which I think he kind of did. But he was like, the point of it was because I just loved the guitar. I wanted to play it. I was excited about that new guitar. So number one, Washburn didn't know that he was doing it. Washburn didn't know that he was leaving. Which I'm like, okay, I don't know how good that is if you build a work relationship with somebody for 30-something years. But then he also said, look, the thing was that Washburn wasn't doing anything for the guitars anymore, right? So Washburn actually didn't produce the Enforce. Never did, right? The Washburn, the production of these Enforce were delegated to a third-party workshop that has been ran by a master luthier named Chris Mead, who's a very accomplished master luthier, by the way, right? So it's a third-party workshop. Washburn didn't own that workshop. Chris Mead did. So they commissioned him as a third party to make these stuff. And he did. Right? So that was one point. So it wasn't like Washburn owning it. But Nuno was right. I made a video a long time ago talking about how Washburn guitars are going to die. So check this out. I'm going to go to the channel. I'll show you exactly the video, the date of that video. In that video, I said, look, these Washburn guitars are going to die because Washburn is not pushing them, is not advertising them, is not doing anything. There it is. Here you go. 6 months ago, I made that prediction. If you guys haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch it. I said Washburn guitars are failing and it's their own fault. This is the video. Exactly as I predicted. Exactly as I predicted. So Washburn wasn't pushing the product. Washburn wasn't advertising it. Never, nowhere. On their Instagram channel, nowhere. So Nuno was like, look, they didn't show any love to the guitar anymore either. Washburn just is exclusively now pretty much is producing acoustic guitars. That's what they're known for. The only reason Washburn started producing electrics in the 80s, it was that because in the 80s there was this like surge of rock and metal music and electric guitars became a thing. They didn't want to put some money on the table. They wanted to ride that wave, so they produced those guitars, right? But after that, they didn't push it, they didn't advertise it or anything. So that was the thing that got Nuno to leave, but also he's like, look, after 30-something years, I think this is a thing that I needed to, you know, it was on my bucket list. Fine. And then he said, look, one of these models, Nuno models, is an N4 because I wanted people to, you know, still have the N4 that I played with for so long and my fans know it for so long. I wanted them to have it. So that's why that guitar there is an N4. So there's 3 models. You got the Maple one, the White Stallion, the Dark Horse, which I showed you guys a photo of. That's the Dark Horse. And obviously you have the N4 in his new lines. The pre-orders, by the way, for these guitars start in 2026 February, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. That he's leaving that partnership and everything. And then the last thing that he said on this that blew my mind, he was like, hey, we never had a contract with Washburn. Everything we did was like handshake. And I'm like, what? He said it in this article, in that interview. He's like, everything was handshake. So when I moved away, I wasn't like breaching any contracts or anything. I'm like, that's insane. Right? So that was another interesting thing. Yeah. The good news for Nuno fans, if you didn't know this, now you know, is that this new Nuno branded guitar also has the Stevens extended cutaway, because as I talked about in that video, the Stevens extended cutaways trademark in the US trademark office in the records, if you look at it, it's expired in 2006 or 7, 20 years ago. So anybody can use those. They can't use Stevens' name as Stevens extended cutaway. So these new guitars are going to miss that sort of this really famous trademark sign here. You guys can see it there. I'm not sure. There we go. Look at that. See, it says Stevens extended cutaway, and underneath it, there's like numbers, like the pattern number. They can't use Stevens' name anymore, but they can use the design because the patent for it is expired. So it's going to be a very similar guitar to the N4 is what I'm trying to tell you. Because the pickups seem to be the same. Everything about it seems to be the same. And very lastly, he said in all likelihood, this guitar is going to be direct to consumer because he wants to build a relationship with the clientele. I think he wants to do that, but also doing it with somebody else is going to take a lot of money away from you. And this whole direct to consumer model is becoming more and more popular with electric guitars. Ola and Solar Guitars is doing it. A lot of other companies like Kiesel, I think, are doing it. So makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense for him to do that. And I thought this was an interesting update. Now let's have a look at the. Let me confirm. Nuno guitars. When is the pre-orders coming? These are the 3 guitars, by the way, guys. For those who let me move myself. The White Stallion, the N4, and the Dark Horse. There we go. All right, let me go to the website. Nuno guitars. There we go. Do we pre-order starting soon? Doesn't say still. Still doesn't say. So you can sign up for updates, but it still doesn't say when these guitars are going to come out. Interesting. It's at the perfect time he's doing it, by the way. Can I say something? It's at the perfect time he's doing it, because with their new album called 6 in 2023, it came out, they kicked ass. It was so good. That album, I think, personally, was his best work. Nuno's best work was in album 6. And the song Rise obviously took everybody's attention. It was the best guitar solo of 2023. So now it's the perfect time to do it. His old fans are, you know, reinvigorated. He's gathered a lot of newer and younger fans. So it makes perfect sense for him to do it now. Is what I'm trying to say. How are we feeling? YouTube, Twitch. How are we feeling, guys? Why is everybody so quiet today? Look at me. Why are you so quiet today? We usually, the weekend stream usually a lot more crowded. We have like engagements and comments and trolling and everything. It's just a big mess, and we like that. We like it that way. But today is a little quiet on a Thursday. And I understand. It is a Thursday. I get it. All right. I think we're gonna leave it here. There we go. This is the last thing I wanted to actually show you guys before I forget. So, this is what I wanted to show you. So, these N4 guitars, right? That, interestingly enough, despite the fact that Nuno has moved on, it's still on Washburn's website, right? I was like, what? They haven't removed it? But in the secondhand market, they're selling them. By the way, this is a fake. This is like somebody colored the guitar this way. This is not the real Nuno guitar. They're not out yet. But if you look at these Washburns, the price of them were not, like, they're not that different from, like, the actual guitars themselves. Like, this is, I don't know, $3,000 US dollars? $2,700 US dollars? The walnut one, which is very similar to the one I have, one of the ones I have, is about $4,500 US dollars, 4,500. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there hasn't been a crazy massive price shift in these ones there. And I don't know, depending on how well these guitars come out, I think part of it is that the market is waiting for Nuno to actually release those guitars. And when he releases those guitars, if those guitars are any good, then the price of these ones are going to drop, like, a lot for some of these ones. Like, especially, like, for example, there's a white one, which is a prototype, and it's, like, around, what, 7,000 US dollars, which is a lot more expensive than the other ones. But it's overpriced. I get it that it's a unicorn piece, but Nuno's not even with Washburn. So some of these ones are gonna you know, drop their prices like significantly, I think, if the guitars that come out are good. If they're not, so if they flop, even in the first batch out there, if the reviews are not that good, then these guitars are gonna soar in prices because nostalgia. And it's going to be this, because guitar community loves it, right? Like with Gibson's 50s, everyone's so romanticizing them. Oh, they were amazing and all that. And they were great. I'm not saying they were not. Both the, you know, Strats and Les Pauls 50s and 60s are amazing. So no questions about it. But what I'm saying is that the nostalgia is going to kick in here too. And these guitars are going to soar in their prices. I think. Yeah. So I thought that was like an interesting thing. All right. Nevertheless, guys, I think we covered everything we wanted to cover on the docket. I think we're going to leave it here. I think we had a really good docket today. Especially with, like, you know, the Ernie Ball guitar that we talked about at the beginning. Hold on. Talked about the Ernie Ball, Olivia Rodrigo's St. Vincent signature guitar, the Ernie Ball. We talked about that in detail. We talked about, you know, New Old DSP. We talked about the Bupe space and why it's a bad idea to call this a woman's guitar. We talked about that. We compared Greeny with a couple of other Les Pauls. We talked about Nuno and Washburn. I think this was a really good stream. I don't know about you guys. I'm happy with the way things are. And guys, with that said, I'll bid you farewell. I just want to leave you guys with one message, and I do this every time before we leave. Two things I want to do. Number one, obviously, I want to drink this to your health. This is for those who don't know, this is our stream tradition. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I love guitars. I love talking about guitars and everything else. And I love it when people come in and talk to me about these stuff. We have such a good time together. So I'm going to drink this to your health. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Cheers. And then secondly, remember that we're not getting any younger. We're not. Let me show you something. So, this is my main guitar. This is my Washburn N4. And this is the Stevens Extended Cutaway, by the way. And so this is like sort of an exotic wood. This was like one of the limited edition models that was released in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. And I bought one. And it's been my main guitar that I play with. And one of the things was that I really like the pattern of this Koa and Karina on this guitar. The woods are great. But one of the things for me was like at some point there were times that I was hesitant to play it. And I was like, oh, this is so good, so beautiful. I don't want to play. And then I realized something kicked in. I realized something that really changed my mind. So let me put this back. So the one thing I noticed was this. So I'm going to tell you guys this brief story before I let you go. Maybe, I think it's a wise story. I really think that. It was a big lesson that I learned. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago maybe, I bought a pack of like 4 or 5 different suits for work, right? And I bought the suits, 3 of them for work, 1 for a special occasion, and I left it in my closet. For some reason, I never used them. I was just like, no special occasion, like nothing happening. Work, I'll just go with a shirt and whatever, with a colored shirt. So never used those suits. Came in, a certain virus that spread all around the world and put us all in lockdowns and everything. You guys know what I'm talking about, 2019. So this maybe was like 6-7 years ago, right? So comes in 2019 and everything goes into lockdowns and all that. And come out of that whole situation, because throughout the whole lockdown and everything, there's no parties or special occasions, right? Everybody works from home and all that jazz. I came out of that, and I added a whole lot of new pounds. Like my belly was bigger, my back was bigger. I was round and cuddly as I am right now, right? And so I couldn't wear any of those suits well anymore, all 5 of them. All 5. They did not fit anymore. I learned a lesson that day. Because I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to put one of those suits. Finally, I've waited like 3 years for this. I never touched them for 3 years. Or whatever it was. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to wear those suits. I went on and tried the first one. It was too small. And then the second one. And then the third one. And then the fourth one. The lesson I learned was that if you have something that you enjoy, the experience of using it, the experience of doing it, if you have something that experience gives you joy, use it. Use it and have that experience with it. Because we're not getting any younger. And there might come a time that you can no longer, just like I couldn't fit in those suits, you can no longer use whatever it is that you're passionate about. In our case, it's guitars. And it's going to be too late. So the message I have for you is that pick up that guitar. We're not getting any younger, man. These seconds are precious. We're not getting any younger. None of these seconds come back. So I'm gonna plead with you. I'm gonna propose to you, offer you this suggestion that, you know what, if you like playing the guitar, pick it up and play and have fun with it. Do it. Sometimes people are like, oh, I have to push myself and I'm busy and family and work and whatever. I get it. But if that's the experience that you enjoy, we're not getting any younger. I'm just saying. You know, we're not getting any younger, man. We're just not. So I think that was my message to that. I think hopefully my mistake with those suits, your lesson. Pick up that guitar, play it, and if you have something you enjoy the experience of, use it now. Spoil it now. Don't leave it for later, because later might never come. Cherish these moments. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Love you all. Take a good care of yourself.
A fragile tone that pulls me gently through the fire.
Every chord remembers you.
Every note becomes a
Every
name.
note becomes a name.
I'm reaching through the frequencies, but nothing sounds the same.
I feel the
air around me tremble like a truth I can't let go.
That's like too much.
Stuck inside the silence,
Calling me back home.
I'm falling through the echoes where the shadows start to glow, and every sound you leave behind is the one I can't outgrow.
Mr. Sorenzo.
Your voice is in the undertow.
Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it, man? Are you positive? Are you gonna cherish these moments? And play your guitar? Do it. Love y'all. Mwah! Take a good care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video, and if not, on Saturday, we got our weekend stream. I'll see you there. Take a good care of yourself. Mwah!